Dear Disneyland fans and folks who are planning to go to Disneyland, these are the things you need to eat at some point during your next visit to the West Coast parks. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. So after weeks of putting our noggins together and trying to pick and choose the absolute tastiest things to eat across Disneyland Park, Disney California Adventure, Downtown Disney, and the Disneyland hotels, we are finally ready to show you the best of the best. At first, I almost made this point entirely about the It's Snow-Capped Lemon treat because that's my favorite thing here. But there are more flavors beyond lemon that are available at Adorable Snowman Frosted Treats in DCA that also deserve their time to shine, I guess. Along with lemon soft serve, you can also get raspberry, mango, or a swirl of any two flavors available here, which is awesome because lemon and raspberry swirl is one of my very favorite Dole Whip combos. And while you're more than welcome to just have these soft serves plain, you can also get them snow-capped. That's dipped in a white chocolate shell, or you can get the chili lime version topped with chamoy, chili lime seasoning, and diced mango. But if you're looking for the most Instagrammable or picturesque item on the menu, consider ordering the Pixar Pier Frosty Parfait, which comes with your choice of soft serve and a blue raspberry swirl. And if you're having a hard time deciding on just one flavor, Adorable Snowman recently started serving flights, giving you the chance to try all three. Part of me just wants to derail this whole script for just a minute to help you plan out the perfect Disneyland vacation. But thankfully, I don't have to do that because we've got a free 3 perfect days in Disneyland guide that we can send your way right now. And all you have to do is scan the QR code you see on the screen or click on the link in the description for disneyfoodblog.com/Disneyland plans after this, and we'll get it right over to you. Y'all know the song by now, try the gray stuff, it's delicious. And while, we've talked about getting the gray stuff in Magic Kingdom a few times before, Disneyland also has a version of this Beauty and the Beast themed treat over at Red Rose Tavern. In its most classic form, the gray stuff from Red Rose is made of a shortbread cookie, red velvet cake, raspberry, and cookies and cream mousse. But the sprinkles and decor that you receive on top all depends on the season. We've seen the gray stuff decked out for the holidays, we've seen it ready for summer vacation fun, and we've seen it all bright and colorful and in celebration mode for Disneyland's 70th anniversary. Now, don't be shocked if you come to Red Rose Tavern and the gray stuff isn't looking all that gray anymore, because sometimes the mousse overlay just doesn't impact the toppings but the flavor as well. For instance, we recently saw the gray stuff turn into the enchanted pumpkin stuff for Halloween season, which gave the OG gray stuff its own costume to sport. Instead of cookies and cream, this version comes with pumpkin mousse, pumpkin cake, and an apricot marmalade center. So really expect the unexpected with this stuff because you never know quite what you're going to get, except fluffy mousse deliciousness, probably a cake, and an interesting center. You can always expect those. Welcome to Tropical Hideaway, filled with punny birds, Dole Whips, and flavorful bao buns. I'm going to start with the bao first, just because it's more unexpected, but still worthy of your taste buds' attention. There are 2 bao flavors currently on the Tropical Hideaway menu. You've got the char siu, which is a sweet, sticky roasted pork and a sweet barbecue sauce dusted with paprika. Then you've got the lime chicken, which is also stuffed with butternut squash and fresh herbs. Now, if you want to try them both, or you've got multiple people in your group that you want to share these baos with, you can order the trio of bao, which is kind of funny because, like I said, there's only 2 flavors, but you can double up on one of the flavors, or even commit to the same flavor 3 times. Totally your call. The trio also comes with a side of bao sauce, which is slightly spicy, slightly gingery, and definitely gives both bao choices a nice added kick to their flavor profiles. And now we can talk about the classic Disney ice treat, Dole Whip. While Dole Whip can pop up as a dessert or a seasonal treat across lots of different Disneyland restaurants and snack stands, like the Adorable Snowman I talked about before, the most common place you're gonna find Dole Whip in Disneyland Parks Adventureland is over at the Tropical Hideaway and the classic Tiki Juice Bar. Now, the Tiki Juice Bar is a purist. You can find the OG pineapple version here, or you can pick up a Dole Whip float with pineapple juice and pineapple Dole Whip. Feeling like the pineapple princess now, aren't you? But if you grab a Dole Whip from Tropical Hideaway, you'll have a few more flavor options to choose from beyond just the pineapple, including peach, mango, and strawberry. And be on the lookout for specialty Dole Whip treats here too. Seasonal offerings often include unique Dole Whip concoctions like limited time sundaes, floats, and more. Let's head over to one of the hotels and to the GCH Craftsman Grill in the Grand Californian. It gets bored with offering the same old all year, which is why you're never going to see the same menu items twice during your visits. Each month, Craftsman Grill offers a new Belgian waffle flavor during breakfast and a new hot dog flavor during lunch and dinner. In the past, we've tried waffles like the s'mores waffle, the savory sunrise waffle, and the waffle Cristo, and we've also tried hot dogs like the caprese dog, the pastrami dog, and the Asian bistro dog. Years ago, like back in 2020 before the world shut down, Craftsman Grill even tried to take waffles and hot dogs and combine them to make a mega snack of the month offering the Le Waff Dog, which wasn't too shabby, but a waffle still isn't my favorite bun to use for a hot dog. Anyway, I digress. It's fun to see what specialty items they'll come up with here, and we love to review them on our DFB website, so keep checking in, and we'll keep the waffle and hot dog updates coming. My Disneyland folks back home know what I'm talking about here. What's so special about the Disneyland corn dogs? Well, these are freshly hand-dipped, which lends the perfect amount of crunch to the thick and tasty and slightly sweet, I love that it's a little bit sweet, corn batter surrounding the dog itself. It cannot be beat. You can find these hand-dipped corn dogs over at the Little Red Wagon on Main Street, USA in Disneyland, and Corn Dog Castle in Disney California Adventure. I think you can also find them at Stage Door Cafe most of the time too. Doesn't matter where you get one, just get one. Now, maybe you're not into corn dogs, but you still like cornbread and cheese? Then this is definitely a must get. The cheddar cheese stick from Corn Dog Castle. Instead of a hot dog tucked into that same slightly sweet corn batter, you've got ooey gooey cheddar cheese in the center of things and lots of it. It's basically grilled cheese on a stick. One of our favorite hacks is to also go get a cup of tomato soup and eat this with that. What's not to love? Okay, so this isn't something you need to eat exactly, but I figure you wouldn't mind if I snuck a few potions into today's list, right? The Broken Spell Lounge, by the way, is a brand new, except not really brand new, it's just kind of an overlay of the old Steakhouse 55 lounge. But anyway, it's a Sleeping Beauty inspired spot that's tucked inside the bottom floor of the Disneyland Hotel, right next to Goofy's Kitchen and the defunct Steakhouse 55. The name of the game here, creative and classy cocktails, but you can also grab some lounge bites to go along with your drinks too, like the chicken wings, the truffle fries, or even something more substantial like the Wagyu cheeseburger, it's really good, or the charcuterie pizza. But what I want to highlight right now is this gorgeous Benevolent Fairy option. The Benevolent Fairy is a drink trio, each featuring a vanilla bean infused Golden Eagle vodka with distinct flavors and edible glitter. I know, this one was a fun one to capture pictures and videos of because it's stunning to look at. Each drink represents each of the Sleeping Beauty's fairy companions, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Starting with green for Fauna, this drink is for mint lovers. There are definitely some mint julep essences in there, but the vanilla still comes through nicely. The purple represents Merryweather. Sorry, Mary, they didn't make this one blue, but you'll still get a fruity blueberry taste. And finally, the reddish pink drink for Flora has floral, fresh flavor that's very reminiscent of hibiscus, and the strongest alcohol taste is in this one. And since I already broke the rules for finding things that everyone should eat at Disneyland in today's video, I guess it's as good a time as any to talk about the park's famous mint juleps. Now, real talk, what does a mint julep from Disney's Mint Julep Bar actually taste like? Well, think less minty and more citrusy, so it's not like you're drinking a tube of toothpaste. You're gonna get strong notes of lemon and lime with this one, but the mint still follows along as a nice, refreshing afterthought. And because it's non-alcoholic, everyone in your family can give this classic Disneyland concoction a try. Hulk Smash? No. Cocoa Smash is more like it. The Cocoa Smash bar from Pim Test Kitchen is probably one of my favorite things to eat in Disneyland. End of story. This is made with dark chocolate, peanuts, caramel, nougat, and chocolate brownie, although I'm telling you there is absolutely peanut butter in this one. They say peanuts, and they've always just said peanuts, but there's peanut butter in here. Anyway, it's like a Snickers, Three Musketeers, and a Reese's all wrapped up into one absolutely massive chocolate bar. For a little while, they took this away and made it a cake, but I think people rioted so much that they brought back the bar and left the cake there too, so you can get either one, but I'm always getting the bar. In conclusion, basically the best candy bar out there, probably one of my favorite desserts in all of Disneyland and in all of Disneydom. Now, if this isn't a comforting snack, I do not know what is, and I don't know why Disney World doesn't have something like this. The fresh baked chocolate chip cookies from Harbor Galley in Disneyland Park have made quite a name for themselves in a very short amount of time. So what makes them so special? They're just cookies, but I don't know, they're cookies that taste like they just came out of the oven. They're fresh and warm and soft and filled with gooey chocolate chips and have those slightly crunchy edges that really give off those going to grandma's house vibes, minus like the knitted Afghans and stuff. Now, you can order these in a 6-pack, or if you're willing to do some sharing, you can also get a 13-pack of these instead. Now, these cookies can get even better if you're willing to spend a little extra for a whipped dip to dunk them in. The dips switch up depending on the season, but we've seen varieties like pumpkin cream cheese, chocolate hazelnut, and vanilla confetti. Kind of like what you'd get with a Dunkaroos, only better. And by the way, the flavors of the cookies change up too. They've got some pumpkin ones right now, which are probably one of the best things we've ever eaten in Disneyland too. Y'all, this is a mic drop worthy entree from Main Street, USA. Plaza Inn's fried chicken is the best fried chicken I have ever eaten. It is golden, crispy, juicy, loaded with herbs and spices. And yes, I have been to all of the fried chicken places that you love, in Disney World and Disneyland, and I will still keep going back here. That's it. That's the mic drop. Just try this chicken and then get back with me because this stuff changes you for the better. Ready to talk about a brand new cheesy bread snack? Because I am. The pull-apart cheese bread at Wine Country Trattoria and Disney California Adventure is made with sun-dried tomato focaccia, whipped herb ricotta, mozzarella, tomato coulis, chili flakes, and micro herbs. I know. I got chills too. The outside of this is nice and crispy with a soft interior. The cheese isn't like oozing out of this bread or anything, but that's okay. It doesn't need to. It's baked inside of the bread and easy to pull apart as advertised, so props to Wine Country. Now the topping pesto has the smallest amount of a kick to it, but it's also packed with earthy tones that really complement the cheese and bread. And that sauce is reminiscent of sun-dried tomato, giving it an all-around nice Italian aroma and flavor. Now, this is a different version of pull-apart cheese bread that they had at a different festival, so I'm hoping we're just going to see lots of iterations of this come to DCA. Oh, sorry, bringing it back around to Pim Test Kitchen because there's another thing I want to bring your attention to, and that's the not-so-little chicken sandwich. Here's the thing. The entrees here, they're all very Ant-Man gimmicky in the best way possible. You're going to see things that are oversized. You're going to see things that are seemingly shrunken down. It's very cute. And the best example I can give you of how DCA really plays with their food here is this particular chicken sandwich, which is a seemingly normal-ish sized piece of breaded chicken that looks ginormous because it's served to you on a teeny tiny brioche bun. But along with this being a fun plate of food to take pictures of, it's also a decent chicken sandwich flavor-wise, topped with teriyaki and red chili sauces for that little extra kick. And there's pickled cabbage slaw for some tang. Now, to be fair, a lot of my past experiences in the soup dumpling department come from soup dumpling packages I can whip out of my freezer and nuke in the microwave whenever I need a quick lunch. But the Din Tai Fung soup dumplings taught me about what real soup dumplings should actually be, minus the freezer burn. All of Din Tai Fung's dumplings are handcrafted on site, so no matter which you choose, expect the savory ingredients to be encased in a dumpling that's a perfect balance of tenderness and chewiness. Or perhaps you want to try a dumpling that's filled with something sweet. Also at Din Tai Fung, the chocolate and mochi xiaolong bao comes with 5 pieces, each made with a premium chocolate truffle inside a thin layer of mochi, all wrapped in 18 folds. This is shockingly good. Each bite contains a delicious lava flow of amazingly decadent chocolate. They might be small in stature, but they sure do pack a powerful punch. The chocolate isn't too rich, it's creamy and warm, almost like a delicious chocolate fondue. I will be ordering this again on my next Disneyland trip. Lots of pastries and baked goods line the display cases at Jolly Holiday Bakery and Cafe off of Main Street, USA, but none quite impress me consistently like the Matterhorn macaroon does each and every time that I order it. The Matterhorn macaroon spirits the Matterhorn bobsleds coaster in shape and in excitement. If that is, you too are thrilled by a macaroon that's piled with coconut and butter, baked until golden and dipped in white chocolate to create snow. Note to self, if it's snow-capped in Disneyland, it's going to be good. And yeah, I don't think anyone's got any objections toward what's the best pastry inside Jolly Holiday. Anyone? Anyone?
Objection! Hey guys, it's Bria, and I think it's about time to make my court case for the Raspberry Rose Mickey Macaron from Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe and hope that I can win y'all over. And I'm just kidding. It's okay to have different tastes. That's why AJ and I can remain friends, hopefully. The Raspberry Rose Macaron is my personal favorite item to get at Jolly Holiday versus the Matterhorn Macaroon, not just because it's more bright and vibrant, even though it certainly is, but also because it's got raspberry rose almond filling in the center as well as fresh raspberries. Now, I have heard that Jolly Holiday has been switching up the macaron filling with something a little less light and fluffy lately, which I sure hope isn't permanently going to be the case, but we'll just have to wait and see. However, I just love all the flavor profiles for this one in general, and I especially love that it's made with fresh raspberries, which is my favorite fruit of them all. In conclusion, if you're a fan of white chocolate and coconut combinations, stick with Team AJ. But if you're more of a fan of fruity and floral notes, switch to the raspberry rose side and join Team Bria.
Oh, well, Bria made her point, I guess, but I don't know. I think this will still be something that we disagree on. Next on our list are the confections from the wonderful world of sweets, which, I don't know, it's always going to be Marceline's Confectionery to me, even though they renamed it and kind of like redid it and now have some weird little characters there. Anyway, if you want to just choose one thing from this location, you can, but I have a hard time doing that because I just want to buy everything here. This reimagined sweets shop serves classic Disney treats like caramel apples and Mickey Rice Krispie treats and marshmallow ones and cherry sour balls, which are glorious, and lollipops and a DFB favorite. Wait, hold on. I'm going to talk about that treat in my next point because it's going to deserve its own time to shine, so stay tuned. And one of the newest treats you can find at the wonderful world of sweets, though, is the peanut butter flavored Mickey waffle treats, which are quite literally just one big piece of Mickey waffle shaped peanut butter. The peanut butter's flavor is sweet and smooth without being too rich or artificial tasting, and honestly, it reminds us a lot of that sweet peanut butter flavor you'd get inside of a Reese's peanut butter cup or Reese's Pieces. The recommended serving is 1/4 of this treat, so 4 servings in total, and it's just over $15, so be prepared for a giant treat if you decide to buy this one. The reimagined World of Sweets has also started selling freshly made Werther's Original Caramel Popcorn, which is a huge deal for the DFB squad because that's one of the key reasons we love Caramel Kusha so much in Epcot. So is that the heavens smiling down on us, or am I simply looking into the face of that glorious Disneyland churro toffee again? The churro toffee is a thick slab of crispy, buttery toffee that does not have a face, but is dipped in white chocolate. There's that snow cap again, and coated in cinnamon sugar. And while it might look pretty drab compared to some of the other more stylish and aesthetically pleasing treats around the parks, looks are definitely deceiving here. Beauty is in the eye of the taste tester, and upon first bite of that churro toffee, you will experience crunchy, cinnamony, sugary goodness. The churro toffee can be found at Disneyland's various confectionery locations, including Candy Palace and Trolley Treats, Bing Bong Sweet Stuff, and of course the brand new World of Sweets in downtown Disney. By the way, this actually travels pretty well. I do tend to bring a couple of plastic bags with me to Disneyland, and I get a whole bunch of churro toffee. I put it all in plastic bags, and I bring it home to give it to friends. Oh, it is definitely baked potato o'clock. Troubadour Tavern over in Disneyland's Fantasyland has got the potato goods. You can get the classic Troubadour baked potato stuffed with butter, sour cream, cheese, bacon bits, and green onions. You can get the bulgogi baked potato with bulgogi marinated beef, gochujang mayo, spicy cucumber, and green onion. And you can often get a seasonal baked potato here too, like the recent celebration potato that we've seen on the menu, loaded up with pulled smoked turkey, whipped cream cheese, stuffing, cranberry sauce, gravy, and fried onions. Thanksgiving on a potato. And don't even think about hiding from me. Fireside mac and cheese bites. These do tend to get overshadowed by all the baked potato-ness going on at Troubadour, but if you're a fan of trying mac and cheese in various forms like I am, you'll want to get your hands on a basket of these. The mac and cheese bites are made with fried Gouda mac and cheese bites that have been tossed in 4 chili rub. Quick note though, you can get these without the chili rub if you're averse to spicy, but if you keep it around, this is definitely Disney spicy, not set your lips on fire spicy. So while it might linger on your lips for a little bit, it's not going to make you want to guzzle a whole carton of milk. The breading is light and the noodles are fairly thick, but these are less creamy than other mac and cheese bites we've had in the past, like the ones from Wine Bar George in Disney Springs. It's something to be aware of, but not necessarily a deterrent if you're in a spicy mac and cheese bite mood, which I, normally am. Oh, you want some more Disneyland cheesy bread options? Well, you should have said something earlier. There are 2 locations where you can find the cheesy garlic pretzel bread in Disneyland Park. That's at Edelweiss Snacks and Maurice's Treats, both in Fantasyland. Not only is that garlic bread pillowy and salty, but the gooey, buttery cheese inside is extremely satisfying. By the way, did y'all know Maurice's now has a breakfast version of cheesy pretzel bread? True story. The newish breakfast cheesy pretzel is a sizable pretzel bread sandwich filled with cheese, scrambled eggs, and 2 sausage links. Yep, this thing is huge, so come hungry. The bread is chewy and flavorful, the cheese adds that overall tanginess to each bite, the eggs are well seasoned, and the sausage links here are hearty and have a nice snap to them. Your obsession with theme park pickles could very well lead you to a free Disneyland prize. You just have to prove you're dedicated to the brine cause first. On Main Street, USA, there's a little snack cart that's located near Market House that sells a few classic snacks as well as those cult favorite pickles in a pouch. Now, if you're the first person to order a pickle that day, you'll actually receive a free first pickle pin to reward you for your efforts because, wow, rope dropping a pickle is wild, but I can respect it. And even if you don't rope drop this sour snack, giant pickles can be purchased here all day long. Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, yep, they changed the name. The heartier eats at a more affordable price point shouldn't be ignored when you got a hankering for some mighty fine smoked meats. But even if you've already had a full meal and you're just looking for something quick to snack on, the funnel cake fries here are a fun twist on the classic battered theme park snack. There are 2 funnel cake fry options you can choose from, and both are very easy to share. The first is the simple churro funnel cake fries dusted with cinnamon sugar. You can also purchase a chocolate mocha dipping sauce for a little extra if you can't imagine having a dessert minus some sort of rich chocolate served on the side, or, a dipping sauce. And the second is the cherry cobbler funnel cake fries, also dusted with cinnamon sugar, and then further topped with cherry pie filling, vanilla ice cream, and streusel. Both versions of these funnel fries are sweet and coated with a golden batter, so really all you have to decide is how much sweetness your family really wants to take on, the lighter churro level or the much heavier cobbler level. Just a reminder, y'all need to stop walking past the best Mexican food inside Disney California Adventure, okay? Okay, Cocina Cucamonga inside San Francisco Square is all about the street-style taco vibes, but we tend to gravitate towards the quesadilla most. Each order comes with 2 braised beef and cheese-filled tortillas with a side of tomatillo salsa and consommé. You get lots of tender, juicy meat inside those crispy tacos, and the melted cheese is toasted on the inside and outside of the shell, which I can definitely get behind, even if things do get a little messy with this one. So whenever I head over to Disneyland, I try to time it out to where I can experience at least one of the 3 Disney California Adventure festivals that happen each year. Because really, those festival food booths provide you with some of the best snacky options out there. At the beginning of the year, you've got Lunar New Year. During the spring, you've got Disney California Adventure's Food and Wine Festival. And at the end of the year, you've got Festival of Holidays. Along with specialty food booths lining Paradise Garden Park, DCA's various quick services and table services will also get in on all the festival action by offering limited time bites and drinks and maybe some mixology or tasting seminars too, specifically during Food and Wine. Now, Disney bread is a special kind of bread. It's a carby, savory, fresh-baked, glorious sourdough. Over at the Boudin Bread Cart, right outside of Aunt Cass Cafe in San Francisco, you can get a whole loaf of that famous sourdough bread from a bakery that replicates the real-life famous Boudin Bakery out in San Francisco. Not only that, but you can choose from classic loaves or loaves shaped like Mickey Mouse and Baymax, which, come on, why wouldn't you go that cute route? Oh, and get this. If you go on a Boudin Bakery tour in San Francisco, you'll receive a free sourdough bread sample just so they can further sell you on how awesome this bread really is. Free bread is actually my love language, so this is always a must-do in DCA for me. And since you're now thoroughly sold on the whole sourdough bread and DCA is awesome, let's go ahead and take things one step further by carving out a big chunk of fresh sourdough and filling it to the brim with a nice, warm, cozy bowl of soup. Aunt Cass Cafe has a few different bread bowl options. There's the San Francisco clam chowder, a creamy clam chowder with bacon, potatoes, and a hint of white miso. Then there's Waltz chili, and to take things in a non-soup, but still very delicious and honestly my preferred direction, there's the creamy mac and cheese option too, where the bread is thick, but those spiral noodles and layers of gold and gooey cheese are thicker. Yeah, I love soup in a bread bowl, but I kind of love mac and cheese in a bread bowl even more. I know, it's tough. Now, if you're in Disneyland Park when the need for a bread bowl strikes, you can get the chili or mac and cheese bread bowls at Refreshment Corner inside Main Street USA too, or even a combo of mac and cheese and chili if you really want to go all out with it. And the clam chowder bread bowl can also be found over at Harbor Galley, the same place you get those tasty fresh baked cookies, as well as Royal Street Veranda over in New Orleans Square. In fact, Royal Street also has a broccoli cheddar soup you can add to your bread bowl instead, if that's more your style. The bottom line on bread bowls in Disneyland is that there's a whole lot of them, thank goodness, and Disney World really needs to take note because as far as I know, Disney World only has 1 or 2 bread bowls that you can find. Okay, aliens, bounty hunters, Wookiees, humanoids, lend me your ear because I've got another important cheesy bread to talk about. Oga's Cantina inside Disneyland Park uniquely serves a garlic cheese 5 blossom bread with a side of spicy cheese sauce. I know I talk about cheese bread a lot, but you guys, this cheese bread is amazing. It's so good, and we're so happy that Oga's finally has some good food. It's crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, and the cheese has this slight kick to it, but not enough to burn your tongue and make you beg for that glass of blue milk. Sure, you can make your own personal pizza pie over at Napolini Pizzeria in downtown Disney, but if you want to leave the pizza topping combinations to the professionals, you can always order one of Napolini's signature pizzas instead. They've got so many unique options to choose from, but the one the DFB team keeps raving about lately is the hot honey pizza made with fresh mozzarella, stracciatella, chili flakes, basil, hot honey, and tomato sauce. This is a lovely combination of sweet, spicy, and cheesy, all loaded on thick crust. Warning, this is much hotter than Disney's normal spicy level foods tend to be, so if you're really wanting something with a bit more kick to it, then this could make you want to grab another slice, or at least grab another tissue to keep your nose from running. Otherwise, you might find yourself running for the hills and toward the nearest water fountain if you're super spice averse. Little backstory, by the way, Napolini is run by the same folks who run Via Napoli over in Epcot. Oh, we finally made it to literally my favorite thing to eat in all of Disneyland. So Blue Bayou tends to steal the table service spotlight over in New Orleans Square, but y'all, Cafe Orleans is where it's at. Sure, Cafe Orleans doesn't have that dimly lit mood setting and up-close look at Pirates of the Caribbean like Blue Bayou does, but it does have a more affordable version of Disneyland's ever-so-famous Monte Cristo sandwich, and that is good enough for me. If you've never had a Monte Cristo before, basically this is a sliced turkey, ham, and Swiss cheese sandwich. And that sounds pretty basic at first until you come to find out that this sandwich is also battered and fried and then sprinkled with a generous amount of powdered sugar and served with a side of seasonal preserves. Now that's a sandwich. And to make this plate of food even better, go ahead and order it with a side of pommes frites while you're at it. Because these aren't just your average everyday normal fries. These are Parmesan garlic fries that also come with a side of spicy Cajun remoulade for dipping. It is incredible. Sometimes Disney's Monte Cristo sandwiches are even more affordable than they are at Cafe Orleans if you see them pop up on the Royal Street Veranda quick service menu, which does happen from time to time. The only downside is that they're not going to come with a side of pommes frites, but again, you'll only have to pay $14 for this battered sandwich at Royal Street versus $26 at Cafe Orleans or $34 at Blue Bayou. Literally a $20 jump right there. Now here's something that's pretty unique to the Disneyland scene. If you want a crispy fried burrito filled with beef and beans, you can find chimichangas at several snack stands and windows across the Disneyland bubble, and they have a cult following. And if you're looking for a quick breakfast to start your day, head over to the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad snack cart for a breakfast version of the chimichangas too. Typically, this morning chimichanga offering is stuffed full of that classic bacon, egg, and cheese mix. Now, admittedly, we haven't been talking about the bread cones from DCA as much lately since we started chowing down on the bread cones from the new Epic universe, but let's fix that because I do want to talk about Cozy Cone's bread cones again. Cozy Cone Motel over in the Radiator Springs section of Disney California Adventure is made up of 4 oversized orange traffic cones that each serve a different snack item. But over in Cone 3 is where you're going to find bread cones like the bacon mac and cheese or the chili cone queso. What can I say? Both cone varieties have a great filling to bread ratio, and they can easily serve as a warm, comforting, and portable meal. Time and again, these cones have received the A.J. Wolf seal of approval, just like the Handwich before them and the Fantasmic bread cone, which was our first bread cone we saw, and they'll more than likely continue to do so. And since we're already in the neighborhood, let's just move right along to cone number 5 and try out some of Cozy Cone's seasonal popcorn concoctions. Now, it's not just the classic buttered popcorn you're going to find here. Cozy Cone regularly switches out their popcorn flavors to give you something new and exciting to munch on that you might have never experienced at the movie theater. In the past, we've seen dill pickle popcorn, buffalo ranch, white cheddar, sriracha, pizza, and garlic parmesan, but you never know what kooky kernel concoctions these cones are going to create. And yes, Bria's very proud of herself for that alliteration. Meat and veggies? Good. Meat and veggies served on a stick? Now you're talking. The Bengal Barbecue over in Adventureland is home to a variety of awesome skewer combos. We're talking the Banyan hot and spicy beef skewer, that's my favorite one, the Chieftain chicken skewer drizzled in a Polynesian sauce, the pork belly skewer in a sweet Zulu sauce, and another one of my favorites, the safari skewer, which is bacon wrapped asparagus. It is very healthy. Now, no matter which skewer you choose, maybe you choose multiples like I do, each one is served to you freshly grilled with that nice char, just like you'd expect to find on your meat and veggies after a summer barbecue session in your backyard. This is probably some of my favorite counter service eats in all of Disneyland. We wish Centrico had opened in downtown Disney years ago because their chicken mole tacos have been missing from our lives all this time. The chicken mole tacos are made with mole negro, sour cream, queso fresco, sesame seeds, pickled red onion, and corn tortillas. We cannot say enough good things about these things. The meat is so tender, the mole sauce has a fantastic smoky sweetness to it, and the pickled red onions have this sharpness and tang that cut through the mole sauce to really brighten things up. I guess maybe the only thing I'd ask for is more queso drizzled over these, but then again, that might just be me being the world's biggest melty cheese fan. Put aside the 99-cent ramen packages, my friend. San Francisco doesn't mess around when it comes to ramen. The beef birria ramen from Lucky Fortune Cookery is made with house-made birria, a soft-boiled egg, Monterey Jack cheese, cilantro, roasted corn, onions, and radish. And just saying all that out loud is making me drool a little bit, except for the cilantro, because I can do without cilantro, as you know. It's just me and my weird genetics. There are so many different flavors that work together so well in this bowl, creating a nice, salty concoction of comfort food for a chilly California day. Or just because you're in the mood for some ramen, regardless of the temperature, because I have definitely had this ramen when it's been really hot out. So really, you can't go wrong with any of the frozen treats at Clarabelle's hand-scooped ice cream in DCA. But our favorite reason to come here is for those customizable hand-dipped ice cream bars, which come with your choice of chocolate coating and topping. Listen, you didn't hear it from me, but a hand-dipped bar that you can customize at Clarabelle's is just over $7. And a classic Mickey premium ice cream bar with no custom toppings at the regular old ice cream snack carts is just over $5. So I'm just saying, that extra $2 for some fun ice cream personalization might be the way to go. Ordering anything from Rancho del Zocala in Disneyland Park feels like coming home. It's reliable, it's hearty, comfort food. You're not going to break the bank, and if you just straight up love all things Mexican food, you're more than likely not going to be disappointed, no matter what you order. But if I really want a substantial meal before heading back out into the park, I'm going to focus on the Burrito Sonora options. Get this, with each Burrito Sonora, you're getting your choice of beef or chicken with beans, rice, salsa fresca, sour cream, and cotija cheese, all wrapped in a flour tortilla and served with those incredible tortilla chips. Did you know that this is the place that actually invented Doritos? Yeah, it is. I mean, back then it was called Casa de Frito, but it was literally the same place, and they invented Doritos. Anyway, you get all of this for around $13 to $14, depending on what meat you choose. This is not a shabby deal, folks, especially if you're looking for something that's going to fill you up and keep you filled up for a long while and actually taste delicious. But keep in mind that these burritos are heavy, which maybe isn't the best feeling in the world when you're already melting from the afternoon heat or you're planning on having a nice dinner later on in the evening that's going to demand some extra stomach space. If you ever hear me say something like, nah, I'm not really in the mood for a beignet, just know that I indeed have been replaced by an alien, and you should probably get Area 51 on that stat. I am always in the mood for a beignet, especially when it comes from Disneyland. Long before the snack appeared inside Disney World's Port Orleans Resort French Quarter, Mickey-shaped beignets had their original home at Disneyland's Mint Julep Bar. You can't go wrong with the classic golden fried beignet, generously dusted with powdered sugar, but seasonal offerings like fall's pumpkin spice beignets and surprises like maple beignets with maple bacon dipping sauce are more often than not huge hits for this little snack window too. But wait, the beignets do not stop there in Disneyland. Over at Palm Breeze Bar, attached to the villas at Disneyland Hotel, you're going to find beignets on the menu here that I must say are really humble about how good and special they are. When you look at the menu online, you'll see that these little guys are simply listed as beignets, served with chocolate, caramel, and mixed berry sauces. But what this menu doesn't tell you is that A, these are more like beignet bites rather than full square beignets, and the fruit dips served alongside them are inside these cute little Mickey-shaped shortbread cups. Adorable! Now, if you're a local visiting the Disneyland bubble, your favorite place to grab a beignet might actually be Beignet Express inside downtown Disney. And I say that because lines for this location get so long. But I guess that makes sense. After all, this is where you'll find the largest assortment of beignet flavors made fresh daily. So just prepare yourself for those potential lines. Next door to Beignet Express, you've also got the table service Jazz Kitchen Coastal Grill and Patio, which has its fair share of tasty beignet options too, including the Beignet Quartet, which is a sample of 4 glazed beignets with flavors including Bananas Foster, Strawberry, Churro, and Simply Glazed. By the way, our favorite is the Bananas Foster. So you know the drill. If there's a poutine to be had, I'm going to track it down. And happy day for me, there are actually multiple poutine offerings around Disneyland that I'd be happy to order again in a heartbeat. Over at Palm Breeze Bar, again, the cheese fry poutine is made with demi-glace, cheese sauce, chive sour cream, and pimento. And that's pretty much the exact formula for something incredible. Cheese on cheese on cheese, and then some chive sour cream. Okay. They know me pretty well. Then at the Hearthstone Lounge over at Grand Californian, there's the chorizo poutine made with seasoned steak fries, chorizo gravy, white cheddar curds, and sweet and hot peppers. These are great too, and the steak fries are nice and crispy. The chorizo has a decent spice to it. The peppers lean more towards the sweet side of the spectrum versus the hot. And while the cheese kind of disappears with this one because there are just so many other flavors at play, the slight sharpness to it is still present, just not really as prevalent as it is with those full-on cheese-coated fries from Palm Breeze. Okay, sticking with fries for the next one. Let's say you're not the world's biggest loaded fry fan, but you still want to eat a basket of fries in a more adventurous sort of way. The Ward Wieners can hook you up, especially the film strip fries. These are curly steak fries. I haven't seen them in any other Disney park at any time. So not only are they thick and slightly crispy, but not overly so, they are also a cool and spinny texture, kind of like a film strip. That is, if your film strip was getting all twisted up going through the film reel and if it was a potato. If you actually do want to upgrade your film strip fries to be something more loaded, like my best friend Heather and I used to do all the time when we went before they even loaded these, you can always order the asada fries instead for the same film strip fries that are topped off with marinated carne asada, cheddar cheese, cilantro, onions, salsa de arbol, and guacamole. I just like mine with a whole bunch of cheddar cheese on them. So Goofy's Kitchen over at the Disneyland Hotel is the California equivalent of Chef Mickey's in Orlando's contemporary resort. It's got the character meet and greets, it's got the family-friendly buffet, it's got the high-energy atmosphere, but the most important thing is that it has dessert pizzas. So you better save room. The most popular one that you're usually going to find on Goofy's buffet spread, probably in the kids area, but that's okay, you can totally go over there, is Goofy's peanut butter and jelly pizza, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's lots of peanut butter slathered onto a very soft crust and then drizzled with a few stripes of jelly in good old PB&J fashion. But you might also find other seasonal dessert pizzas out on the buffet. In the past, we've seen a strawberry Nutella pizza here, as well as a hazelnut s'mores pizza, so check and see what's on the dessert buffet the next time you visit, and maybe grab a slice or two, for science. So, per the release of this video, Napa Rose is still undergoing major refurbishments, but I will say that once it reopens, this is a Grand Californian hotel restaurant that you might want to add to the top of your fancy date night must-dos, because this is where you're going to find some of the best quality dining inside Disneyland. Napa Rose has a seasonally changing menu that always features California fresh ingredients, along with one of Disneyland's finest wine collections to complement whatever meal you decide to land on. Whenever Napa Rose reopens, which hey, could be right now depending on when you're watching this video, since it is supposed to reopen this year, the interior and exterior of the restaurant will be revamped, including expanded counters where guests can watch the restaurant's chefs in action, as well as more seating out on the patio and 2 more fireplaces so you can still dine al fresco even when it's chilly out. According to Disney lore, the story behind this wacky bar is that years ago, explorer Trader Sam was bitten by the bartending bug. Who hasn't been, right? And ever since, he's kept busy by searching the Amazon, Congo, Mystic Point, Polynesia, and every exotic locale in between for ingredients to mix into his magical libations. While the cocktails here are strong and tasty and fruity, the really unique part about ordering a drink in Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar is that many of the cocktails actually trigger events around the bar. So you never know what zany adventures you'll have in store for you while you're here. Not only that, but recently Trader Sam's also released a brand new breakfast menu available from 8 to 11 a.m. daily that all you breakfast aficionados are not going to want to miss out on. We're not just talking about the traditional eggs and bacon here. Of course we're not. This is Trader Sam's, my friends. We're talking innovative dishes like ube stuffed French toast, a Korean-style breakfast sandwich, open-faced lomi salmon sandwich, and tropical pancakes. Indoor seating is open for this new dining time, but the outdoor patio seating will continue to strictly open at 11:30 a.m. in time for lunch. The Black Calf Cold Brew can be found in not only Disneyland's version of Galaxy's Edge, but Hollywood Studios' version as well. However, there are two main differences between these Black Calves. Difference number one is where you can actually purchase them. While Hollywood Studios sells their version of the Black Calf at Katsaka's Kettle, you're going to find the Black Calf inside Disneyland over at Docking Bay 7 all day long, and Ronto Roasters, but only as a late night offering. And difference number two, generally speaking, our DFB reporters just straight up prefer the version available at Disneyland. While the ingredients are essentially the same on both coasts, several of our reporters claim that the cold brew Black Calf served at Disneyland has a sweet cream cheese that tastes even sweeter than the version served in Hollywood Studios, ergo making the cold brew a whole lot less bitter. But either way, you're gonna get a cold brew topped with sweet cream cheese and chocolate cereal puffs, which might just tickle your fancy no matter what side of the galaxy you're on. Of course, we can't forget about the Ronto Wraps. How could we? The classic Ronto Wraps are the same satisfying intergalactic style hot dogs that you'll also find over in Hollywood Studios. So roasted pork, grilled pork sausage, peppercorn sauce, tangy slaw, all wrapped up in a pita. The Ronto Roasters in Disneyland also has the same Ronto morning wrap on offer during breakfast. That one's my favorite, as you know, made with scrambled eggs and grilled pork sausage, shredded cheddar, peppercorn sauce, all again wrapped in a pita. But if you're looking for something different from Ronto Roasters in Disneyland that you're not going to find in Disney World, you can always try the veggie-based Ronto-less garden wrap made with impossible sausage, spicy kimchi slaw, sweet pickled cucumber, and gochujang spread in a pita. Or you can order the new fried cheese skewer that was introduced during Season of the Force but seems to be sticking around for now. This is a clump of crispy hash brown-like potatoes all battered and fried together, put on a stick like a corn dog, and served with a mustard cheese dipping sauce on the side. And before you ask, it is just as delightful as it sounds. I can remember when the photos first came in of this thing and I was like, oh, I must have this now. And I did. One of the best parts about Lamplight Lounge and Pixar Pier is just being there. It's chill, there's Pixar animation sketches everywhere, you can sip on fruity cocktails, and depending on where you're seated, you might also get a pretty good view out across the lake. Sure, there are lots of drinks you can order right off the main menu, but I'm always a sucker for a secret menu drink, and lucky for me, the Lamplight Lounge brought over all the Cove Bar secret menu drinks. While secret menu items are bound to change, some of our favorites to track down and order in the past included the Fun Wheel, made with a variety of spirits, plus pineapple juice and blue curacao, the Melrose Place, that's a Long Island-inspired drink but with a strawberry puree, the Neverland Tea, also Long Island-inspired but a pretty blue-green tint, the Earthquake, once again, Long Island-inspired, made with vodka, gin, rum, sweet and sour, blue curacao, Sprite, and all topped off with a 151 rum floater, the Black Pearl, guess what? Yep, you're right. Just a little bit more raspberry flavored and with a Pirates of the Caribbean theme. The Zombie, which isn't pretty at all, but is definitely the route you want to choose if you're a fan of all things rum. And the Sea Witch, made with raspberry vodka, peach schnapps, blue curacao, and a splash of cranberry juice and Sprite. But when you need something to help soak up the booze and keep your stomach satisfied for the time being, the potato skins can be a great choice. They are my preferred choice for a quick bite. These are not your average French fries, my friends. These are Yukon Gold potatoes served with paprika aioli, house ranch, cheddar cheese, bacon, cheese sauce, and chives. Aioli too, DCA, you spoil me. Now keep in mind, you're not going to get like a basket full of these potato skins if that's what you're looking for. Rather, you're going to get a blast of unique flavors in just a few hearty bites. Okay, happy Churro Day. I don't know if that's actually a holiday or not. I just assume every day should be Churro Day. To most amusement parks and state fairs, the churro is simply a sweet fried dough snack dipped in cinnamon sugar, but to Disneyland, it is an art form. Even the classic churro at Disneyland is just a better experience than most churro experiences out there, even in Disney World. Besides Nomad Lounge and Animal Kingdom, but Nomad Lounge is always playing on a whole other plane of snacking existence, so we're gonna let it slide. The Disneyland churros are crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, super fresh, and the snack is so popular on its own that there are several carts in both Disneyland and Disney California Adventure dedicated to this golden delicacy. Now keep an eye out for tons of seasonal churro varieties, since Disneyland likes to frequently spruce up these classic treats to make them one of a kind and suitable for the holiday season. So go on, add your favorite Disneyland snack down in the comments, or let me know which Disneyland snack you are most excited to try on your next visit. We still got lots of other Disneyland videos for you to check out next if you're not ready to leave the Disneyland bubble just yet, like our 50 mistakes to avoid in Disneyland, that's an important one. And don't forget to download that free DFB guide for 3 perfect days in Disneyland right now over at disneyfoodblog.com/DisneylandPlans. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.